I think my phone's stalking me again.
Again? What? Did it call your mum or just judge your step count?
Worse, it told me I fell off last week. Fell off, look, from a fitness app. It's basically nagging me.
Jess, that's Strava. It negs everyone. It's built on shame. It's like a gym bro with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but since when did a fun little jog mean handing over the exact coordinates of my entire life? I went for a run, look, a run. I didn't sign up to be a civilian asset.
You do love the drama.
No. Because explain this. Why did I get a notification saying your activity overlaps with three frequent athletes near your home? Our home, look. The app basically told me who's been within kidnapping distance.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Even I don't like that. I'm a man who willingly uses public Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Strava's out here mapping our heartbeat, our routes, our friends, our secrets, and apparently revealing military bases because soldiers wanted to brag about their cardio.
We are absolutely going on the list for talking about this.
Buddy, Strava already put us on a list. We're about to talk about the fitness app that knows your bedtime, your stress levels, your commute, and, if you're unlucky, the location of your favorite bush to pee behind.
Classy.
So, today on Mindzilla, we're tackling the big question. Is travel just a cute little tracking app for runners, or the accidental surveillance tool nobody asked for?
And why do grown adults willingly compete over imaginary crowns like they're medieval lords of cardio?
Strap in, lace up, and hide your location settings.
Because today we're diving into the Strava Conspiracy.
Roll the intro. Welcome back to Mindzilla, the only podcast where two people try to understand the world, fail, and somehow end up on a government watch list anyway.
I'm on at least 3. And hello everyone. Today we're unpacking Strava, the fitness app that somehow turned jogging into a geopolitical hazard.
Honestly, imagine telling your ancestors, in the year 2025, we willingly upload our daily routes so a bunch of tech bros can sell our heartbeat to insurers.
Grandmother, I survived 2 plagues and a revolution. Did you get a com on the canal path?
And listen, if you're one of those people who uses Strava for motivation, we get it. We're not judging.
Jess is judging.
I am judging because nothing says mental well-being like an app emailing you at 9 a.m. to say, you're behind your friends this week. Do better.
So today we're asking the big questions. How did Strava end up revealing secret military bases? Why does it know more about your emotional state than your partner? And who exactly decided we needed digital crowns for running slightly faster than Dan?
Dan knows what he did.
Poor Dan.
Anyway, let's start where all good conspiracies begin, with something that was absolutely not supposed to be made public.
The moment Strava accidentally mapped the entire world's sensitive locations in neon.
Buckle up, hydrate emotionally, because this is where the surveillance sweat really starts.
Let's get into it. Alright, let's kick off with the basics. What you think Strava is. Nice little fitness tracker, bit of encouragement, bit of data, bit of look at me, I ran.
It's the Instagram of cardio, except instead of filters, you get guilt.
Exactly. For most people, Strava is just start activity, sweat, stop activity, post, pretend you're humble about it.
Wow, didn't even notice I did half a marathon today. Lol. Yeah, you did, Brian. You also carbo-loaded like you were going to war.
Company line is simple. Strava helps athletes track performance, build community, and celebrate progress.
Cute, wholesome, a digital high five wrapped in a graph.
They tell you it's for motivation, for safety, and for personal improvement.
Which sounds lovely until you realize every one of those things requires literal tracking of your entire existence.
But on the surface, this is the public story. It logs your runs, it maps your routes, it shows your speed and heart rate. You can follow friends, compare stats, join challenges.
It's like Pokemon Go, but your price is chin splints.
And people really do believe that's all it is, a harmless tool with a friendly orange logo.
Oh, bless. They never check the permissions.
Exactly, because Strava isn't just a tracking app. It's a data harvesting juggernaut pretending to be a wearable sticker chart.
And that's what today's about. You think you know Strava. You think it's just running and badges, but you don't know the half of it.
We're here to politely dismantle the illusion.
Politely, we're about to run this app straight into the ground and check its splits.
Fair point?
So, now that we've covered the adorable surface level version,
Let's talk about the moment Strava absolutely blew its own cover.
yes, the global heat map incident.
Right, so picture this. Strava decides to show off. Like when a tech bro buys a drone for creative reasons, and they release this big, glossy thing called the Global Heat Map.
The name already sounds dodgy, like something a Bond villain would pull up while stroking a cat.
This map visualized every recorded Strava activity from 2015 to 2017. All the runs, rides, swims, millions of them, over 3 trillion GPS points.
That's not a heat map, that's a confession.
Exactly, and Strava thought it was harmless, a fun world map showing where people exercise the most.
Except, tiny problem. People run in places they are not supposed to exist.
While the map lit up cities like Christmas trees, it also revealed glowing little squiggles in the middle of deserts, inactive war zones, and on secret military compounds that technically aren't even on maps.
If your secret base shows up because a soldier wants to brag about his 8-minute miles, that's not a base anymore. That's a tourist attraction.
So let's list what this cursed map accidentally revealed. CIA black sites, including one that weren't officially acknowledged. US military bases in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, outlined perfectly by soldiers jogging the perimeter. Joint Special Operation Command locations and kind of places that really don't want to appear on a fitness leaderboard. French military bases in Niger, again, glowing like someone installed a treadmill emoji beacon. Possible NSA facilities, because apparently spies like cardio too.
The funniest part is that civilians didn't find this. It was discovered by a random 20-year-old Australian student.
That's right, some uni kid scrolling through the maps goes, why is there a bright spiral of running routes in the middle of absolutely nowhere? Oh, look, it's a covert deployment.
Imagine being a general and finding out your multi-billion-dollar secret is ruined by Private Dan showing off his lunchtime jog. But how did this happen?
2 words. Default settings. Most soldiers didn't realize their fitness tracker synced automatically to Strava public by default.
So Strava essentially turned military personnel into glowing breadcrumbs.
And because bases in the US and Europe had tons of civilian users, the maps looked messy. But remote bases, outposts in the desert, tiny deployment teams,
Those were bright, isolated, obvious, like a neon sign saying, Top secret base here, joggers welcome.
Pentagon lost its mind. The US military immediately issued guidelines telling service members to turn off tracking.
Britain got involved too. The MOD literally warned soldiers not to use fitness trackers at all on ops.
And intelligence agencies worldwide started reviewing personal devices because, shock, maybe the guy wearing a Garmin watch shouldn't escort nuclear materials.
Sorry, mate, you can carry the classified documents or your Fitbit, not both.
The heat map didn't just show bases, it showed routines, patrol routes, sleeping quarters, lunch breaks, exercise schedules, entry exit points, guard rotation, meeting spots, and travel paths between outposts.
All from running data, jogging, humans accidentally speed running espionage.
Analysts realized you could basically build an entire intelligence briefing just by looking at soldiers' jogs.
Forget James Bond, MI6 just needs a treadmill.
People online started analyzing the map like they were auditioning for Homeland.
Everyone suddenly became a armchair spy. Look at this loop in Syria, Sharon. Must be a drone hangar.
News outlets went wild. Security experts panicked. Privacy advocates had an aneurysm.
And Strava released a statement basically saying, "We didn't do anything wrong. People should review their privacy settings." In other words, oops, our bad, but also not our bad.
So, the heat map turns out to be one of the biggest open source intelligence fails of the decade.
All because a bunch of fit lads wanted a calm in Kabul.
And this is where the story shifts because the heat map was the first domino.
Indeed, let's now talk about what Strava actually collects. Spoiler is not just your Sunday jog.
It's basically your entire biography in graph form.
And it gets darker from here.
The heat map was the warm up. Now we're getting into the proper horror show. What Strava collects every time you go for a jog.
It's more than the one humiliating moment you slow down to walk near a bakery.
Hey, sometimes a man needs a pastry.
Not sometimes, we always need a pastry. Let's break it down. When you hit start, Strava begins logging location, exact GPS trail, down to the meter, route patterns, your preferred paths and loops, heart rate data, elevation changes, speed fluctuations, rest times and pauses, who you run near, when you start each run, when you get home, when you leave home, is essentially a digital diary of your existence, a relationship journal written in sweat.
And this data builds something very spicy in the intelligence world called a pattern of life profile.
Which is hilarious because it sounds like a philosophy course, but is actually a stalker's starter kit. And let's not forget about the creepy emotional layer.
Here's where it gets weird. Based on your speed, heart rate, variability, and consistency, Strava can infer if you're stressed, if you slept badly, if you're sick, hungover, anxious, or depressed.
So my watch knows when I'm spiraling before I do. Brilliant. I love that. It's amazing for my mental health.
Company line is that this helps them give you insightful data.
Insightful data. If I wanted insight, I'd go to therapy, not sprint around the block like a asthmatic gazelle.
The scariest bit? Even if you hide your home location manually, Strava can still infer it because most runs start from your front door, or end there, or go past your house multiple times, or create a cluster of GPS points around a single address.
Same with your job, same with your gym, and your secret lover's flat. Yes, we know.
If you run there every Thursday at 7 p.m., Strava notices.
It's basically the noisy neighbor that doesn't blink.
Strava also logs who you run near, even if you're not connected on the app.
So, if you keep running past the same hot jogger on the canal, Strava clocks the sexual tension.
And advertisers would love that information, but who uses Strava data? It's not just Strava. Third parties use aggregated fitness data too. Insurance companies, sports science firms, city planners, marketing companies, private intel analytics groups, law enforcement, and sometimes defense contractors.
The phrase defense contractors should never be anywhere near my morning jog. The data equals your life.
Put all this together and Strava can predict things like your daily routine, your commute, your physical health, your emotional resilience, your stress patterns, your sleep quality, your social circle, your most frequent locations, and your vulnerabilities, and whether or not you're about to burn out.
My therapist can't even predict whether I'll cry or make a sandwich.
Strava could tell her.
Christ. But still, why is this a problem? Because this is the exact kind of data governments, corporations, and very naughty people drool over. It's like a buffet of personal information dressed up as a leaderboard.
So, yes, from a conspiracy standpoint, this is prime real estate.
And from a comedy standpoint, it's insane that we voluntarily hand this over so strangers can kudos us like we're digital labradors.
Right. So, we've established Strava doesn't just know your runs, it knows your life.
And the next question is the juicy one. What happens when the wrong people get access to this data?
Or when the right people use it in the wrong way.
Which brings us to the part of the episode where things get very Mindzilla.
The conspiracy zone. And trust me, Strava gives us plenty to work with. Number one, Strava as an unofficial reconnaissance tool. There's a theory that Strava wasn't just careless, it was a test.
A test to see how much global military movement you could infer from civilian tech. Imagine the Pentagon thinking, let's see what happens if we let soldiers run with GPS on. Worst case, someone sees Chad's 5K times.
Best case, you identify active deployments, base population changes, patrol routes, security weakness points, troop stress levels via heart rate, rotations and shift cycles, new construction zones, and covert ops footprints.
That's not a fitness app. That's a portable little CIA intern. Number two, the black site beacon theory. This one's delicious. The theory goes that Strava's heat map didn't just accidentally reveal black sites. It revealed them because someone inside wanted them revealed.
Like a whistleblower with cardio.
Exactly. A secret intel operative who realized the US wasn't admitting to certain foreign operations, but the tech company's data was exposing it anyway.
So instead of going to the media, they let Strava publish a giant neon look at this base sign.
Number three, the NATO fitness profiling theory. Here's one that's very popular in OSINT circles. NATO analysts use Strava to compare fitness levels of foreign soldiers.
The idea being, if your infantry are running 5k slower this year than last year, something is up. Imagine being a general briefed like, Sir, Russia's power troops are 12% slower this month. We think they're sad.
This one is sexy. The idea that secret agents use running routes as a way to pass intel.
Like Cold War dead drops, but with Lycra.
Some agents allegedly have predictable routes, so other agents can shadow them from a distance, collecting info without a trace.
Until Strava mapped their secret rendezvous and everyone pointed and said, why is this guy running a heart-shaped loop around an embassy? The least funny conspiracy because it's probably real. Insurance companies want Strava data.
They already can estimate your biological age from heart rate variability.
And guess what? If they know your stress levels, your habits, your sleep quality,
They can decide your premiums before you even get a quote. Sorry, Luca, Strava says you wheezed up that hill. You're paying more. Then there is the athlete manipulation algorithm. This theory says Strava secretly boosts or suppresses certain users to control motivation.
like a digital puppet master of cardio.
If engagement drops, they'll push your friend's activity to the top of your feed to shame you into moving.
They have literally gamified guilt.
Some believe Strava uses subtle suggestions to nudge people through certain areas,
For what purpose?
to funnel foot traffic past sponsored gyms, cafes, or areas where companies want urban engagement metrics.
So your app is basically your boss telling you where to go.
Worse is capitalism in shorts. There's also a rumor that a group of A-list celebs use a hidden Strava mode where their routes don't show except to each other.
Great, the Illuminati jogging division.
It's basically Soho House for people with trainers and PR teams.
There have been cases where criminals identify wealthy cyclists, found their home address via Strava, learned when they weren't home, and broke in while they were mid-ride.
Burglars literally scheduling heists around your half marathon training.
Leave it to humanity to turn cardio into Grand Theft Auto. Tell us about the behavioral prediction engine, Jess.
Some say Strava is building predictive behavioral maps, not just for fitness, but for future lifestyle products.
Like Amazon knowing you're pregnant before you do.
Exactly. Strava could predict burnout, depression, future injuries, social isolation, marital stress, job dissatisfaction before you notice the symptoms.
That's a psychic parasite. Isn't there a link between Strava and smart cities?
There is indeed. In big cities, Strava data is allegedly fed into urban movement AI systems.
Translation.
Governments can model where crowds naturally move and adjust everything from policing to advertising to event control.
So your morning jog helps decide where they place riot vans.
Democracy in action, which leads us to the maximum bunkers Mindzilla mega theory. This is the crown jewel, the whole true conspiracy. What if Strava isn't just collecting your runs? What if it's collecting your patterns, emotional states, habits, weaknesses, fear responses, your stress spikes, instinctual reactions to train autonomous behavioral AI?
You're saying the robots are learning how humans panic while running hills.
Exactly. You're teaching future AI how humans move, react, and behave under strain.
So Strava is a humanity training simulator.
For a future AI driven world where companies or governments know exactly how populations behave.
Christ.
It's Fitbit meets Skynet.
Fit Skynet.
Don't name it, it will hear us.
So whether you believe Strava is a harmless running app,
Or a surveillance tool, or a military liability, or a predictive behavioral oracle, or even a secret robot training platform.
one thing is certain, it knows a hell of a lot more about you than it should. And that's why we're diving into what people have actually done with Strava.
It's about to get messy. Alright, guys, let's dive into the darker, sillier, and absolutely unhinged side effects of an app that was, allegedly, just supposed to help you track a jog. Instead, it turned into the unofficial police scanner for petty athletic crime.
Nothing says wellness like accidentally aiding global espionage and inspiring neighborhood turf wars.
Let's start with the most notorious crime ring in Strava history, the comb obsessives. These are the people who wake up at 4:12 a.m. to beat cyclists by 2 seconds, wear full lycra to Tesco because you never know when a segment appears. Some comb chasers form full-on cartels like lycra mafias who use wind direction apps, draft behind cars, bribe their mates for tow assists, pray to the algorithm gods, fake flat tires to sabotage rivals, create burner accounts named Definitely Not Day 41. And then there is the worst crime of all, e-bike cheaters, the Strava equivalent of doping scandals.
They're like the Lance Armstrong of the cul-de-sac.
Entire neighborhoods have formed rivalries because some lads decided to run a route that, when seen on the map, spells out something deeply inappropriate that no one should run 9 miles to draw. These are known as Strava hard crimes. And yes, they're escalated. A man in Wales spelled out send nudes in 10 kilometers. A woman in Canada ran a pentagram so accurate it worried local clergy. Someone in Germany drew an alien holding a beer stein. A mysterious Londoner keeps drawing snakes No one knows why.
And of course, there are the chaotic few who accidentally draw indecent shapes because of their weird loops around bins and lampposts.
If Picasso had GPS tracking, that would be chaos, absolute chaos. There's also the Strava serial snitches, you know the type. Logs every walk, every run that's just them walking to Sainsbury's, every workout that's just chasing their dog, publicly shames anyone doing less than 5k, leaves comments like nice warm up when you nearly died. The neighbor who did a 30-second sprint and stopped to cough. People have been caught cheating at races by Strava detectives. Yes, there's a whole underground of self appointed fitness sheriffs investigating inconsistent splits, implausible pacing, teleportation jumps. This man moved 400 meters in 0 seconds. NASA, is this yours?
Let's remember that neighborhood Strava beefs are a real thing. Examples include a man watering his hedge at strategic times to slow down passing runners, teens placing cones in bike lanes to disrupt attempts, a woman who intentionally walked her very slow cat during peak cycling hours, a cyclist who greased a rival's favorite segment sign with Vaseline, someone who moved a Strava segment start point 10 feet just to ruin everyone's personal best. Absolute war over a hill with no prize. Humans are extremely normal.
There's also been actual crimes accidentally caught on Strava. There have been cases where Strava logs helped to expose bike thieves, a burglar who ran home after the job and posted the route, a drug dealer who recorded his delivery intervals as runs, a bloke fleeing the police who, yes, uploaded it as a personal record, a cyclist who hit a parked car and just cycled off like nothing happened, forgetting he was essentially live streaming the hit and run via GPS. And the piece of resistance. A man who used Strava to track his affair, and his wife discovered it because his Sunday long run started and ended at the same suspicious address.
Strava is basically Poirot with a fitness fetish.
Let's get deeper with the paranormal, because this is Mindzilla, and we must include the weird stuff. Ghost segments that only appear for some users, runners reporting cold spots during routes, a cyclist in Oregon who swears a shadow figure matched his pace for 2 miles, a UK runner who claims his Strava route changed after he finished, a place in Scotland known as the hill that eats batteries. GPS always fails there. Someone who keeps getting calms at 3 a.m. despite living in a different country. There is a conspiracy theory that Strava accidentally maps ley lines, energetic hotspots, dimensional distortions, points of paranormal significance.
So ghosts are getting PBs now.
If Casper wants a comb, Casper gets a comb.
So to recap, Strava is fitness, crime, comedy, chaos. One accidental international incident away from being banned worldwide. But also, Strava might just be the most unintentional, honest mirror humanity has invented. Because if you want to study the species, track where they're willing to run for validation.
Right. Before we go, we need to back a bit and stop pretending Strava is a running app and start treating it like what it truly is, a cosmic recruiter portal accidentally disguised as a fitness tracker.
You're saying aliens are scouting Earth through joggers.
Let's start with something obvious. If an app accidentally exposed secret military bases, you'd expect governments to ban it faster than a politician bans accountability. But what happened? No banning, no shutdown, no "oops, let's delete this." Just a quiet shrug. Which leaves us with two explanations. A. They genuinely don't care, which is impossible. These people lose sleep if a pigeon sits too close to an embassy. Or B. They're using Strava data.
Now we're cooking. That is not a wellness app, that is military readiness profiling. Basically, Strava knows who would survive an evacuation, who's secretly athlete level, who's likely to rebel, who could outrun a drone, who is definitely not making it past the first incline.
And the government's feeding this straight into predictive policing algorithms, military recruitment scanners, emergency response planning, behavior forecasting systems. Who can we throw into a mission if the aliens land unexpectedly spreadsheets? Which leads us to the theory 2. There's a long-standing tinfoil theory in UFO circles, the intergalactic games hypothesis. It claims that advanced civilizations monitor planets, scan species for athletic potential, recruit top performers for off-world competitions. Think Olympics mid-abduction, CrossFit meets Close Encounters. And what does Hurt accidentally invent? A planet-wide GPS-linked athletic leaderboard. Aliens are basically sitting in orbit going, this one in Manchester did 12 kilometers at 420 pace while hungover. Fetch him.
So, are Strava routes being used as signals?
Here's where it gets spicy. There's a fringe theory that Strava GPS routes aren't just accidents. The patterns we create, especially the weird ones, are forming symbols, grids, energetic patterns, the structures. Nates to who? Extraterrestrial observers. Imagine aliens decoding our favorite running loops, our accidental phallic Strava art, our weird city zigzags, our pentagon-shaped cycle routes. Strava is basically Earth doodling into the void, and the void is doodling back. Some runners even swear they've had GPS glitches forming perfect geometric shapes, strangely consistent triangle patterns, route distortions pointing to sky coordinates, heart rate spikes to match EM interference signatures.
So, in this theory, aliens are guiding people's jogs.
If you ever taken a route you don't remember choosing, you might have been nudged. Aliens wouldn't care about our selfies, our Spotify playlists, our leggings, but they would care about our acceleration capability. How fast can we respond to danger? Our endurance. Could we handle long distance missions? Our cognitive stamina, decision making under fatigue, stress biometrics, fight, flight, or I'm just stopping here to die. Group dynamics. Do humans follow leaders, or do we just all scattered like panicked ferrets? Strava collects all of this and sends it to the cloud, to governments, to partners, and possibly to them. Because the aliens aren't just scouting individuals, they're studying the entire species.
I'm hoping you don't start talking about the intergalactic recruitment theory.
That is exactly what I'm gonna tell you about. After all, this is the crown jewel of Strava Conspiracy. There's a belief that aliens are selecting Earth's elite runners and cyclists for off-world missions. Signs someone's been chosen allegedly include random and explained PBs, sudden leaps in stamina, GPS routes that don't match reality, heart rate spikes without exertion, missing time after runs, a recurring urge to run at night, segment wins against people far fitter than you. Some Strava users claim they blacked out mid-run, woke up 3 miles away, with their splits impossibly fast, and their running shoes cleaner than before. Alien laundering? Possibly. Alien testing? Likely. Alien admiration? I mean, have you seen ultramarathoners? They're not human anyway.
It's basically the Earth's tryout theory. In ufology chat rooms, that is a running joke turned theory. Earth is being scouted for the galactic games. The aliens want endurance freaks, hill climbers, sprinters, cyclists who ignore traffic laws, people who run in the rain on purpose, anyone who calls a 20k jaunt just an easy one. Strava is the audition tape.
Exactly. Every logged activity is a resume. Some even claim the 2018 heat map wasn't a mistake. It was a planetary performance dataset, a fitness aura projection visible from orbit. Which brings us to the final theory. Strava is training us for something. Here's where the conspiracy gets very oh dear. Some believe Strava's push notifications and motivational messages are actually subliminal training cues. You can do it equals conditioning. Try a segment today equals route manipulation. Beat your friend equals competitive wiring. Challenge yourself equals stress response training. Why? To prepare humans for off world missions, high pressure athletic trials, multi gravity environments, long distance endurance tasks, possible interplanetary survival scenarios.
Or Earth is being groomed for conscription, Strava is the warm up.
So next time you lace up your trainers and start jogging, remember, you might not just be improving your cardio, you might be training for a military algorithm, being watched by extraterrestrial talent scouts, mapping cosmic symbols, sending messages into the void, or accidentally applying for a space Olympics you never signed up for.
I don't know whether to run more or delete the app.
Run! If the aliens want you, you want a good personal best on your record. Alright, team. We've jogged through military mishaps, sprinted past alien scouts, dodged the cartels, and survived the phallic Strava art renaissance. But here we are, the home stretch, and only one question remains. Is Strava evil, or is it just cardio with commitment issues?
This entire episode has felt like therapy conducting during a 10K. But yes, let's do it. The Strava verdict. Is Strava collecting a terrifying amount of data? Absolutely. Enough to clone you, blackmail you, or replace you with slightly faster versions.
Is that evil? Depends on how you feel about becoming a premium athlete against your will.
Is Strava being used by governments to profile the population?
Oh, 1000%. If you ever run past a military fence, they know.
And if you ever run towards a military fence, they really know.
Is Strava accidentally communicated with aliens? Let's put it like this. If aliens aren't watching, they're missing the best free entertainment Earth has to offer. Also, I can't explain the guy who teleported 400 meters mid-jog. I tried, but I can't.
Does Strava cause chaos, petty crime, and neighborhood beef?
Yes, gorgeous chaos. The Earth's purest form of competitive ego.
It's the Hunger Games of suburban fitness.
Does Strava possess an aura of supervillain potential?
Absolutely. If Strava ever became self-aware, we're finished. It'll force us all out the door like some hyper-athletic Skynet shouting, "Move, you can do better, run, you lazy sack of cells."
So, the final verdict. Strava is not evil, but it's definitely a chaotic neutral entity with villain tendencies.
It's like a well-meaning personal trainer who's also a nosy neighbor, who's also in bed with the government and may or may not be broadcasting your PBs to extraterrestrial recruiters.
Not evil, not good, just unhinged.
Basically, Strava is that mate who tells you they're supporting your growth but also publicly compares your pace to their grands.
Exactly. Chaotic, petty, potentially cosmic, but not evil. Right, Mindzillians, we wrap up. Let's hit a little brain game. We have been missing this segment and it's definitely good to bring it back for today. You've survived our Strava deep dive, the military mess ups, the alien recruiters, the lycra mafias. So here's the real takeaway. Your body is smarter than you think. And yes, even aliens would notice.
Wait, are we seriously telling people that aliens are scouting their 5Ks for intergalactic sports leagues and that they can hack their physiology?
Exactly. But the good news is you can train your brain while you train your body. Here's a little trick. It's called neurocardio syncing.
Go on, this sounds fancy.
Simple version. When you run or even briskly walk, you can actually straighten theta waves activities in your brain. Theta waves are linked to creativity, memory consolidation, and what some studies called heightened intuition. Translation, you start notice patterns better, think faster, and maybe even sensing alien recruiters.
Because that's totally normal.
Totally. Here's the hack. Run with intention. Pick a loop you know well. Mentally scan it like you're mapping it for a top secret mission. Visualize every turn. Sync your breathing to thought patterns. Inhale for 4 steps, exhale for 4. Focus your mind only on your steps and breath. This creates theta rhythm synergy. Add micro challenges. Sprint for a segment, change direction suddenly, or take a detour. Forcing your brain to adapt in real time straightens cognitive flexibility. Cool down and visualize. After you run, lie down and replay the route in your head. Imagine anomalies, alternative paths, and I don't know, interstellar checkpoints.
Basically, pretend the aliens are watching and your brain will run faster.
Exactly. Strava may be tracking your route, but with brain gain, you're tracking your own mind. And who knows, maybe that next com isn't just a leaderboard win, it's a neural upgrade, and possibly an intergalactic audition. Your brain is a muscle, your run is a canvas, and yes, your neural signature may be worth a few interstellar brownie points.
Alright, runners, riders, Strava cultists, and intergalactic athletes. That's us done for today.
If you survived this episode without deleting your fitness data or suddenly checking the sky for recruitment drones, congratulations! You're already more prepared than most.
Also, if you did delete Strava mid-episode, fair play, you've probably saved yourself from Jess's imaginary alien Olympics.
If a glowing saucer lands outside our house and asks for my VO2 max, you're going to feel very silly.
If a glowing saucer lands outside our house, I'm calling your mum and telling her you manifested it.
Before we pack up our sweaty conspiracy gear, it's time to tease what's coming next. And trust me, you're going to want to stretch before this one.
We started this episode with fitness tracking and somehow ended up with the government tracking you through your running app.
Which naturally means next week we're heading somewhere that feels like the final boss level of conspiracies.
Airport that launched 10,000 Reddit threads.
Oh, yes, next week we're diving into the absolute fever dream that is Denver International Airport.
Airport's so weird, people started asking if planes were even the main reason it existed.
We're talking about the giant underground tunnel system, the apocalypse bunker rumors, the mysterious dedication plaque with a secret society name on it, the creepy murals predicting the end of the world, and of course,
The giant blue demon horse that looks like it escaped from hell and killed its own sculptor.
Lucifer, a horse statue so terrifying it genuinely feels like it's guarding the gates to something.
And apparently, Jess believes the airport might secretly be a bunker for the global elite.
Listen, if the world ends and the billionaires all disappear underground in Colorado, I'm just saying I won't be shocked.
We'll also get into the theories about secret bunkers, New World Order headquarters, alien tech, and whether the airport's layout literally forms occult symbols when you look at it from above.
Because apparently, when Americans build an airport, they don't just add Starbucks and W.H. Smith. They add apocalypse murals and Illuminati plaques.
Honestly, after researching this show, I'm starting to think every building in America might secretly be a bunker.
So buckle up, my zillions. Next week we're going underground. Literally.
And before we go, quick one from your two slightly exhausted conspiracy gremlins.
Mindzilla is just the two of us right now. Full-time jobs, research, editing, writing, repeat. We're tired, but this is our passion project.
So, if you're enjoying it, tell a friend, share an episode. Drag someone into the madness with you. Help the Mindzilla community grow.
It genuinely helps us more than you know.
Because at the moment, it's basically just us, a laptop, and way too many unanswered questions about underground tunnels.
And if you want to support us keeping this thing alive, like and follow wherever you're listening to.
Honestly, it helps us keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to start thinking the airport is under my house.
If any Denver airport officials are listening, we'll be joking.
Mostly.
See you next week, weirdos!
Mindzilla out.